Hi there, explorers! Have you ever heard of a ship so big it was like a floating city? That was the Titanic, the grandest ship ever built. It was as tall as a skyscraper and longer than 3 football fields. Can you imagine? The Titanic set sail on its very first voyage in 1912. It was sailing from England to America across the big wide ocean. Lots of people were so excited to be on board. It was like a giant fancy hotel floating on water. There were fancy restaurants, a swimming pool, a library, and even a gym. Wowzers! The construction of the Titanic was a massive project. Thousands of workers spent over 2 years building it. The ship had luxurious amenities like the grand staircase, first-class cabins, and elegant dining rooms. The excitement for its maiden voyage was incredible. Crowds gathered to cheer as the Titanic set off. The Titanic was powered by some of the most advanced engines of its time, making it one of the fastest ships. It even had a wireless room for sending messages, which was a big deal back then. Imagine standing on the deck at night, looking up at the starry sky over the vast ocean. It must have been magical. The ship was also equipped with lifeboats, though not enough for everyone on board. Captain Edward Smith and his crew were dedicated to making the voyage safe and enjoyable for all passengers. The Titanic's journey from England to America was a path across the vast Atlantic Ocean. With all its luxurious amenities, the Titanic was truly a marvel of its time. What an adventure it must have been! The Titanic had different areas for different people. Some people got to stay in really fancy rooms, like having their very own suite. Others had cozier rooms, kind of like a cabin in the woods, but on a ship. Can you imagine all the fun kids had on the Titanic? They could run around on the decks, play games in the playroom, and maybe even dress up for fancy dinners. It must have been like one big, awesome adventure. But even though the Titanic had different areas, everyone shared the excitement of being on this incredible ship. Everyone was excited to see the world and sail to new places. Kids loved playing hide and seek, exploring all the nooks and crannies of the ship. Families enjoyed meals together, sharing stories and laughter. There were dance parties where everyone could join in and have a blast. Imagine watching a magic show on the deck with the ocean as your backdrop. At night, passengers could stargaze and marvel at the beauty of the night sky. Kids made new friends and shared their excitement about the journey. Everyone loved looking out at the vast ocean, dreaming of the adventures ahead. On rainy days, kids played board games and told stories, making the most of their time on the ship, and as the sun set, everyone gathered to watch the beautiful colors paint the sky. The Titanic was more than just a ship, it was a place where memories were made and stories were shared. As the Titanic set sail, everyone waved goodbye, excited for the journey ahead. Did you know that the Titanic had its very own newspaper printed on board? Every day, passengers could catch up on the latest news. It also had a swimming pool, which was very unusual for ships back then. Splish, splash. The Titanic had enough food to feed a small army. They had tons of fresh fruits and vegetables, meats, cheeses, and even ice cream. Can you imagine eating ice cream on a giant ship? Yummy! The Titanic had a grand staircase that was truly magnificent. It was like something out of a palace. The ship was powered by giant steam engines that were technological marvels of their time. The crew of the Titanic was made up of over 900 people, including officers, engineers, and stewards. The Titanic was equipped with a state-of-the-art wireless communication system, which was very advanced for its time. Passengers on the Titanic had a daily schedule filled with activities, from deck games to fancy dinners. Safety was a priority on the Titanic, and they even had lifeboat drills to prepare for emergencies. The Titanic's maiden voyage was a highly anticipated event, with people from all over the world watching its launch. The passengers on the Titanic came from all walks of life, from wealthy businessmen to humble immigrants. The deck of the Titanic was a popular place for passengers to stroll and enjoy the ocean views. Captain Edward Smith was the commanding officer of the Titanic, and he was one of the most experienced sea captains of his time. The construction of the Titanic took over 2 years and involved thousands of workers. The launch of the Titanic was celebrated with a grand party, complete with music and festivities. The first-class cabins on the Titanic were the epitome of luxury, with elegant furnishings and top-notch service. Even the second-class cabins on the Titanic were quite comfortable, offering a pleasant journey for all passengers. The third-class cabins, while more modest, still provided a safe and clean environment for travelers. Meals on the Titanic were a grand affair, with multiple courses and a variety of dishes to choose from. The Titanic even had its own orchestra, providing live music for the passengers to enjoy. The promenade deck was a favorite spot for passengers to relax and take in the fresh sea air. The Titanic even had a gymnasium, where passengers could stay fit during their voyage. For those who preferred a quieter activity, the Titanic had a well-stocked library. The smoking room was a popular spot for gentlemen to relax and socialize. The bridge of the Titanic was the command center of the ship, where officers navigated the vessel. The Titanic was equipped with lifeboats, although not enough for all passengers, which was a major oversight. The Titanic's route was planned to take it from Southampton to New York City, a journey of over 3,000 miles. Even though the Titanic was a magnificent ship, something sad happened on its journey. It hit a big iceberg in the ocean and sank. But even though it sank, the Titanic taught us important lessons about bravery and helping others. The Titanic reminds us to be kind and helpful to everyone, just like the people on board who showed courage and looked after each other. And even though we can't see the Titanic today, we can learn about it in books and museums. That way, the adventure of the Titanic will never end. One of the biggest lessons we learned from the Titanic is the importance of safety. Today, ships have more lifeboats and better safety drills to make sure everyone knows what to do in an emergency. The story of the Titanic has also become a big part of our culture. People make movies, write books, and even create games about the Titanic. By learning about the Titanic, we also learn about shipbuilding and maritime history. So the legacy of the Titanic helps us understand the past and make the future safer. And that's why the story of the Titanic is so important for everyone to know. It teaches us to be brave, kind, and always ready to help others. And that's the adventure of the Titanic, Gap 3S. Before the Titanic set sail on its fateful voyage, there was an incredible journey of construction that took place. The Titanic was built at the Harland and Wolff shipyard in Belfast, Northern Ireland. This shipyard was one of the largest and most advanced of its time, employing thousands of skilled workers who poured their heart and soul into creating the grandest ship ever known. Gap 3S. The construction of the Titanic began in 1909 and took over 2 years to complete. The workers faced numerous challenges, from the sheer size of the ship to the intricate details that needed to be perfect. The Titanic was designed to be not only luxurious, but also the pinnacle of engineering innovation. It was equipped with the latest technology and the finest materials available. Gap 3S. One of the most impressive aspects of the Titanic's construction was its enormous hull. It was built using over 3 million rivets, each one hammered in by hand. The workers toiled day and night, often in harsh conditions, to ensure that every part of the ship was strong and secure. Their dedication and craftsmanship were truly remarkable. Gap 3S. The shipyard itself was a bustling hive of activity, with cranes, scaffolding, and machinery all working in unison. The workers, from engineers to laborers, all played a crucial role in bringing the Titanic to life. They faced numerous obstacles, including adverse weather and the immense pressure to meet deadlines. Despite these challenges, their determination never wavered. Gap 3S. The launch of the Titanic in 1911 was a momentous occasion, celebrated by thousands who gathered to witness the birth of this magnificent vessel. It was a testament to human ingenuity and the spirit of innovation. The workers at Harland and Wolff had created something truly extraordinary, a ship that would go down in history for both its grandeur and its tragic fate. Gap 3S. The story of the Titanic's construction is a vital part of its legacy. It reminds us of the incredible effort and skill that went into building such a monumental ship. It also honors the workers who dedicated their lives to this colossal project, leaving behind a legacy of craftsmanship and perseverance. Through their hard work, The Titanic was more than just a ship. It became a symbol of human ambition and the quest for greatness. Gap 3. S. And so, as we remember the Titanic, we also pay tribute to the shipyard, the workers, and the challenges they overcame. Their story is a crucial chapter in the adventure of the Titanic, one that continues to inspire and captivate us to this day. Gap 3S. The Titanic's construction was a marvel of engineering, but it was the passengers who brought the ship to life. The Titanic was a microcosm of society, with individuals from various walks of life, each with their own dreams and stories. Among the 2,224 passengers were famous individuals, families seeking a new life, and those simply looking for adventure. John Jacob Astor IV, one of the wealthiest men, traveled with his young pregnant wife, Madeline. Another prominent figure was Margaret "Molly" Brown, a socialite and philanthropist. Known for her indomitable spirit, Molly earned the nickname the Unsinkable Molly Brown for her heroic efforts. These are just a few of the many stories from the Titanic. Each passenger had a unique journey, their lives forever intertwined by the events of that night. The Titanic remains a symbol of engineering prowess and the rich tapestry of human life, with all its triumphs and tragedies. Through the stories of its passengers, the Titanic continues to captivate and inspire us. Gap 3S. The Titanic's sinking claimed over 1,500 lives, making it one of history's deadliest maritime disasters. The RMS Carpathia responded first, rescuing 705 survivors. Gap 3S. Investigations revealed failures and led to new maritime laws. The U.S. and British inquiries exposed oversights, prompting the 1914 Solace Treaty. This mandated lifeboats for all, regular drills, and better radio communications. These changes have saved countless lives and improved maritime safety. The Titanic's legacy is one of tragedy and progress, ensuring safer seas for future travelers. Gap 3S. Gap 3S. The story of the Titanic has captivated imaginations for over a century, inspiring countless works of art, literature, and film. Its tragic voyage has been immortalized in popular culture, ensuring that the memory of the Titanic lives on. Gap 3S. Perhaps the most famous portrayal of the Titanic is James Cameron's 1997 film, Titanic. Starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet, this epic romance brought the story to life for a new generation. The film's stunning visuals, gripping narrative, and haunting soundtrack left an indelible mark on audiences worldwide. It won 11 Academy Awards and remains one of the highest-grossing films of all time. Gap 3S. Through films, books, exhibitions, and more, the memory of the Titanic remains alive and vibrant. These cultural representations help us to remember not just the ship, but the people who sailed on her, ensuring that their stories are never forgotten. Gap 3S.